On this week's episode of Top of the List, we switch our focus from film to food as we discuss one of our favorite restaurants, Taco Bell, and our favorite items on their menu all time. Stay tuned to find out what's on Top of the List.
Welcome to this week's episode of Top of the List, everybody. As Ryan said, we're making a little bit of a change. As you can hear, Mochi is very excited for this episode. A debut as far as genre goes on Top of the List, right, Ryan? We're going on our 11th episode. We've done our first 10, and Ryan, you've been pushing to make a food episode for a long time, and there's no better choice than Taco Bell. You want to explain why we chose Taco Bell, maybe?
Absolutely. So for those of you who have been longtime followers of the show, you may remember our debut episode discussing Quentin Tarantino films and sort of discussing how those films were surrounding our childhood friendship. And I think the food version or equivalent of Tarantino for our friendship would definitely be Taco Bell. We spent many days after our high school classes or after a high school baseball game enjoying a victorious meal at Taco Bell. Lots of awesome items to talk about that, we'd see the commercials and have to meet up at our local Taco Bell. So definitely really excited. And we knew if we were going to do a food episode, had to kick it off this way.
Absolutely. And I think there's two other things that kind of prompted this Taco Bell episode itself. First of all, we kind of started off by saying, there's a new item. We always love to check out the new items at Taco Bell. And the new item this week, or I think it came out this most recent week, right? And it's the grilled cheese burrito made its debut, and we're going to be giving our thoughts on that. But I think even more importantly, what we need to talk about at the beginning of this episode, Ryan, is the recent news. I think they just released a few articles on it yesterday. I'm not sure if you read those yet, but I definitely did. And my mom even brought some to me too. We were talking about it too. But they took a bunch of stuff off of the menu, Ryan, at Taco Bell. And I think you mentioned probably one of our favorite items, the quesarito, not available anymore. What do you think about a few of those items? I'll pull up the article myself, but
yeah. Heartbreaking, but I think, and we'll touch on this a lot in the episode, I think that's part of the excitement of going to Taco Bell whenever we get to is, there's always something new and exciting on the menu. So obviously cutting back on a lot of items, as a lot of restaurants are doing right now with the current coronavirus situation. But, hopefully sooner rather than later, this too will come to an end and things will start to level out again. And we'll be excited to see what they bring us, what Taco Bell brings out of the test kitchen. Because, the quesarito, one of just many that we've been, big fans of since the minute it came out, since we remember seeing the commercials and trying it the first time. Sad to see it go, definitely. However, like I said, we're sure the fine people at the Taco Bell test kitchen will bring us something even that much more amazing. I mean, we've already seen an awesome addition this week, like you said, with the grilled cheese burrito, which we both got to try this week. And like I said, yes, we're sad, but when one door closes, another one opens. So hopefully we get something just as amazing coming out sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. So I think this is the official list. We'll see. Let's see. The fall will no longer, beginning August 13th, customers will no longer see the following items on menu boards. Maybe I'll just read through these real quick. Tell me which ones you're gonna miss, and tell me which ones you're not gonna miss.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Grilled steak, soft taco.
Not a fan of any of the grilled steak items at Taco Bell. I like their ground beef. I like their shredded chicken. Not a fan of their steak.
Okay. 7-layer burrito, nachos supreme.
Big fans of both of those. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll miss both of those. Good options.
Beefy Fritos burrito.
It's a good cheap option. Once again, not my go-to, but it's a solid option.
I know that's our friend Alex's. That's one of his go-tos on the dollar menu because he's cheap. Let's see. Spicy tostada.
Never had it.
Yeah, never tried that. Triple layer nachos. You ever had those?
Are those the dollar nachos that they sell?
I don't know.
They're the cheap ones because they got the nachos Bel Grande and they got the loaded nachos. Those, my guess would be, are just the chips, cheese, and ground beef.
I would guess, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like their nachos, but as long as they have a nacho option on the menu, I'll be fine.
Okay. My friend Daisy from college, this is her favorite, spicy potato soft taco. She used to love those.
I will not touch that. I can't get over just potatoes in a taco. There's no protein in it. I've seen the
Yeah,
pictures every time I go into Taco Bell, and I'm weirded out by it.
me too, me too. I've tried it with her and it's good, but it's not like one of my faves.
All right.
Cheesy fiesta potatoes, mini skillet breakfast bowl, chips and dips, and then what I think you and me are hurt very badly by, Ryan. I forgot about they took these off. Loaded grillers as a whole, not just our fave Chipotle chicken, but loaded grillers as a whole, bro.
I have not had a loaded griller in quite a while. A little bit about that because a while ago they pulled the shredded chicken Chipotle loaded griller, which was my favorite, my jam, our jam, definitely.
Yeah.
Back when they were $1 during Happier Hour.
Yes.
But I was never a fan of the beefy nacho one or the potato skin loaded potato loaded griller.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't sting as badly. Like I said, I haven't had a loaded griller since they discontinued the Chipotle chicken one.
Yeah, and dude, was that not a great meal? I remember going after baseball practice, and we would get
All
the
the
freeze
time.
was $1.
Yep.
And I forget, we would always get different flavors just to be different from each other. But then
Oh,
we would
yeah.
always get like maybe 2 or 3 Chipotle chicken loaded grillers.
Absolutely, yeah. 3 grillers and a freeze to finish up after a tough day at Rio Norte Junior High practicing for AEA baseball.
That's right, dude. That's right. We were champions back then. We're champions now,
Let's go.
even though we never won a championship.
Nope, but definitely won 10 games each of our last 3 seasons.
That's right.
Go Rockets.
Go Rockets. All right, dude. So let's get right into it. You want to lead us off with? I know you texted me a list earlier. Do you want to just kind of head through there and then I'll agree/disagree or whatever?
I mean, yeah. Let's start off that way. I think we'll start off. I mean, I was looking to just sort of do a chronology. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
Just going through. Personally, I didn't have much Taco Bell experience. My family was always more of a Del Taco family, but something got me in the door at Taco Bell. So I'm just going to highlight this item. Sort of my first item ever at Taco Bell. It was sort of a predecessor to the cheesy gordita crunch. It was called the double decker taco. Do you remember the double decker taco? No?
No.
All right. So to sort of preface this, I have family in San Bernardino. Every year, the western regions of the Little League World Series are in San Bernardino. This was the year that Cody Bellinger's team in Arizona was playing in the Little League World Series, and there were like 15 minutes between games, and the closest restaurant was Taco Bell. So I went with my grandfather. We went to Taco Bell. I was like, I got to try this double-decker taco. It's like a taco, and there's like a quesadilla with beans wrapped around it. And that, I was hooked forever. Didn't matter, what they offered, if they had the double-decker taco or not. Taco Bell was my go-to for fast food tacos and burritos.
Damn. Okay, dude. That's dope. I love. That's a enlightening story, dude. One of the most emotional stories I've ever heard.
Yes. No recollection of the double-decker taco. I'm sad because they kept it on the menu for quite a while. I think, in doing research for this episode, I found that they later discontinued it around 2015, but it was on the menu for quite a while. So I'm shocked you hadn't heard of the double-decker taco, but that's quite all right. And then, I sort of moved on. Yeah, I go to Taco Bell. I get the same things, but everything about Taco Bell, and still for me today, is, the new items, the seasonal items, the promotionals. So, I'll give the example. A big one in my childhood was the volcano taco. You remember the volcano taco?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend growing up, and we would always see who could eat the most spicy food. So we used to see who could eat the most volcano tacos with the red shell, which I loved. It was a cheese sauce, right? The lava sauce was spicy cheese, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it was like wasn't it kind of like the nacho cheese, but a spicy version of it, if I remember correctly?
Yep, and they did volcano nachos too with just the sauce, and those were good. I really enjoyed those. But flash forward, I want to think now to when our friendship started, sort of at Taco Bell, and of course, like we said, Happier Hour was really the bonding moment. So those loaded grillers. It started off, it was buffalo chicken originally, but then they switched up to Chipotle chicken. I like the buffalo chicken. The Chipotle chicken was the best,
Yes.
like we said in our intro, it was, 3 and a freeze after the show, or after practice, I should say, baseball practice.
Yeah.
And that was just our go-to, man. I mean, especially once we were able to sort of drive ourselves,
Yeah. And
turn
remember
16.
taking the whole team with us, and remember that legendary pic on my Instagram where we're all
Well,
eating Taco Bell.
that was the thing. I mean, our senior year, because it was our thing all throughout high school, but our senior year when we were captains, it sort of became a team tradition. After every victory, we'd hit up a Taco Bell, and that would be our go-to. And it didn't matter, if some of the younger guys wanted to get something else, though. We had our same order every time. Now, of course, we talked about the grillers. I want to take a time here, or a portion of the show, just to talk about freezes, because
Okay.
there have been so many amazing freezes. And actually, I'm going to even jump back a little bit and talk about some predecessors to the freeze as well.
Okay.
So I'll let you chime in on the freezes in just a second, because I know you have some varying opinions from me on the freezes. But before the freezes, Taco Bell to me always had two fantastic sort of dessert drink options. It started with, they had these sparklers. Do you remember the limeade sparklers?
I do not.
All right. So it was Sprite and limeade.
Okay.
And then they'd add, if you wanted, cherry syrup. So it was like a cherry, limeade, and Sprite. That was awesome. Loved that. Had to get that when they had it. They were only around at Taco Bell for a short time. Once they got rid of that, and I'm going to bring it back. I don't think it was Sprite. It was Sierra Mist. I remember distinctly the ad was for Sierra Mist. But then secondly was the real predecessor to the freeze, the Frutista freezes. Ever have one of those?
I've heard of it, but I've never had one.
Okay. These were like pina colada, of course, non-alcoholic pina coladas, but, pina colada mix, frozen and blended, and then they put frozen strawberries on top.
Nice.
And those were great too. Like, I had no problem with it. But then they started moving to the freeze. I think it was probably right around the time Baja Blast was released, and they had two flavors. They had Baja Blast, and they had one called Distortion that was like a neon green, and it was lime. And I was not a fan. So what were your thoughts on the original freezes?
So okay, here's the thing. I think I sent you that funny video I found online where you go Taco Bell, you gotta order Baja Blast.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of Baja Blast.
See, I love Baja Blast. I love the drink. To me, the freeze doesn't have enough Baja Blast flavor. In fact, right when the Baja Blast freezes came out and I ordered it the first time, I remember it was so much better. I drank about half of it and then filled up the cup, the half of the cup, with actual Baja Blast and mixed it up. Then it had the right flavor. But to me, the Baja Blast freeze still to this day doesn't have enough Baja Blast flavor. But you're not a Baja Blast fan, really.
Yeah, overall, just anything
Okay.
Baja Blast. But I do have to preface this though. If I, obviously not a lot of people know my eating habits, but I'm not a soda guy. I don't really drink soda. The only time I'll ever drink soda is to drink like a freeze. When it's a hot day, like for example today, I had to go get some lunch, and I said, we're doing the Taco Bell episode today, so I'll have Taco Bell for lunch, and that leads me into one of my favorite ones. I think the new pineapple one is awesome, so I got the pineapple one. I love the pineapple whip.
Yeah, Pineapple Whip is great. A great new addition to the Taco Bell lineup. Something that I did not see coming at all. But I mean, I don't know if it's actually truly soft serve that they mix into it, or what the vanilla swirl they have in it is.
I feel like it's
great.
just like milk or like cream. Or it's
I don't care what they're doing. I mean, growing up, you and I both in SoCal, I don't know if you've ever had like a Pineapple Whip at Disneyland, like the original over in Adventureland, but
For
they
sure.
they hit the flavor right on, and I love it, man. I'm about it.
Yeah, me too. And then remind me, I mean, the classic, I think by the time we had just kind of got our routine down, and we would get we pretty much get the same order. We would always get the cherry kickstart. I remember that was our go-to.
So before cherry kickstart, the first like new edition one was the vanilla Dr. Pepper one, which was awful.
I didn't like that one.
Yeah, I'm a huge Dr. Pepper fan, but again, was just too watered down. Didn't get the flavor there. Dr. Pepper is something I think you really need to drink as a beverage, not so much frozen. The ice crystals water it down. Then they came out with the cherry kickstart, and it replaced the distortion freeze. So they had Baja Blast, Dr. Pepper, and Kickstart. Kickstart freeze will always and forever be my favorite freeze. And You and I literally got it every time, and it was the perfect freeze. It had enough flavor. It was tart. I mean, that's a big thing for me with these
Yeah.
freezes. I like when they're more sour. I don't like the ones that are like sweet and up in your face. This one was perfect flavor. Taco Bell, if you're listening, please bring back the cherry kickstart freeze because that will forever be my favorite.
Especially when we were all hot and sweaty after practice,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like it's just so refreshing. I really like that one. And then I think we kind of deviate on this one here. I remember it only by its color, but the bright pink, I think it was the strawberry Skittles.
So they replaced the cherry kickstart with a strawberry starburst freeze.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
It wasn't kickstart. I was a little spurned that they got rid of kickstart, but it was still really good.
Yeah.
I like that. Did you like that one?
Yeah, that's like okay. So I guess if we're gonna do top three, I do my new number one is the pineapple whip, 2 cherry kickstart, and then 3 the starburst one. So that's
Okay,
my lineup.
yeah. I think I will agree with you on, I mean, towards the top 2. Pineapple just misses my top 3, but definitely kickstart's number 1 for me. Strawberry starburst is number 2, and once again I liked it because it was tart. It had a good flavor all the way through. It wasn't just super sweet. Recently they've run a strawberry Skittles freeze. That one is a lot sweeter than the strawberry starburst. So not a fan of the strawberry Skittles. That being said, number 3 on my list for freezes that sneaks in just ahead of pineapple. They did a short time a sour strawberry Skittles freeze, and they mixed in this like green. I don't know what it was. It was very sour. But I'm big into like sour Skittles. Those are my childhood, my favorite candy. So the sour strawberry Skittle freeze with that sour liquid, whatever they added in, bright green liquid that they'd swirl it in, it wasn't a perfect balance of sweet and sour, but it was as close as I could get to the strawberry starburst or the cherry kickstart. So that's my number 3. There have been some other good ones throughout the years. I don't know if you want to call back to any other ones in particular, but those are definitely.
I can't remember. Did they? Okay, the only one I could think that they had. You saying the green reminds me. Didn't they have a green one? I want to say green apple.
So they had a caramel apple one.
Caramel apple.
It was green apple, and they did the sour swirl or the cream swirl. They did a caramel swirl.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't one of the best though.
Yeah, I liked the green apple. I didn't like the caramel. It was very artificial tasting. And then they did like a watermelon one that had like the candy seeds in it, and they served it with a boba straw so you could pick up the seeds. Didn't like that one. They did an orange cream one for like the summer, or orange sickle. Didn't like that one. Snapple lemonade one that was all right. The blue raspberry Airheads one. I remember us getting that together.
Oh, the white one.
Yeah. So it started off as white Airheads mystery, and then they finally released it was blue raspberry and sold it blue for a while.
Oh, okay.
Did you like that one? I was on the fence about that one.
Yeah, I remember liking that one. Looking at your cup right now makes me envision you're drinking it right now.
Yeah, it was really sweet. I think I liked it when it was mystery freeze. I liked the intrigue of trying to figure out what it was. But then when you told me it was blue raspberry, I'm a big blue raspberry fan. Like, you know, the ices at the movie theater, blue raspberry was always my go-to. It's a little bit sweeter than those. So once they told me it was blue raspberry, I was like, you know, it's not my favorite, but it's drinkable. But yeah, I mean, I think we've highlighted a lot about freezes. One more drink I want to talk about. I don't know if you ever tried it. So of course everyone knows Baja Blast. For a while, they may have still had it before, of course, the quarantine and the shutdown. I haven't been in a Taco Bell, inside a Taco Bell for a while. They had Mountain Dew Sangrita Blast, and it was red. I think it was like citrus and fruit punch. Did you ever have the Sangrita Blast?
Dude, I love that.
Okay,
now that
I'm
you
glad.
remind me, I love that. Yeah. I don't like Mountain Dew normally, like, because I'm not like an energy drink guy, or like, I know Mountain Dew is more of like a soda than an energy drink, but isn't Kickstart their energy drink?
Let's be honest. Mountain Dew is it toes the line. It's an energy drink that's marketed as a soft drink because whatever the threshold of caffeine to be in the difference between energy drink and soft drink, they're right on the line. Kickstart, they marketed it as a morning beverage, sort of like a coffee replacement, but I don't think that was because of the caffeine as much as because they said they used a percentage of real fruit juice in it, because the original Kickstart flavor was like orange mango and it had orange juice in it. But all
Okay.
of them are very high in caffeine, and I would go as far as saying, yeah, they're kind of energy drinks. I lived off of them in college when I had early classes, because I'm not a coffee guy, so I'd have a
Me
Mountain
neither.
Dew on the way to class, which
Yeah,
was probably
I'm a
terrible for
water
me.
guy. Yeah, yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
water and iced tea guy. That's what I mainly
yeah.
drink.
I can say safely now that with the exception of Taco Bell, I probably haven't had a true Mountain Dew since that sophomore year of college where I took all early classes and would drink one on the way to class. I think that did me in for Mountain Dew.
All right, so we've talked about Taco Bell drinks. Do you want to head right into food? I don't know if you wanted to go in. What's the next chronological step here?
So I was just going to, talk about some of our favorite items, just growing up together now. I think the two I wanted to highlight of items that we maybe both had before were the volcano taco and the double decker taco. Otherwise, everything I looked through on the list I created, I think we've had, the time to share. So I think I want to open up with, what is, a little spoiler alert, it's going to be the top of my list when we do our favorite 5 items, the cheesy gordita crunch.
Yeah, this is what we have in common. This is both our favorite item, cheesy gordita crunch, dude. So I guess we should lead off. I am I'm kind of partial to just the classic, the original. I like the Doritos Locos version of it, but I like just the original cheesy gordita. It's the go-to. If you ever want to get an item at Taco Bell and you don't know what to get, grab the cheesy gordita crunch.
Couldn't agree more with you. Yeah, like I said, the double decker taco I liked growing up. Wasn't a big fan of the beans in it. So when the cheesy gordita crunch came out and it was just cheese gordita shell and then taco inside with I think they call it a zesty pepper jack sauce. It's perfect. It is the perfect fast food. I will say not just the top of my Taco Bell list, but probably my favorite fast food. Period. Done. Um, I love the original. Like I said, a trip to Taco Bell is not complete without a cheesy gordita crunch. The Doritos Loco, I can take or leave. I feel the same way about Doritos Locos Tacos. Really, when it comes down to it, I don't tell much of a difference between the taco and a regular Taco Supreme. The shell doesn't have that much of a flavor to me. Now, they did, I want to say it was the summer of, what are we now? We're in 2020, so probably the summer of 2017 or 18, because it was when I came up and visited you up in Ahwahnee for the first time. They had what was called a loaded cheesy gordita crunch. And this was a cheesy gordita crunch that had ground beef and cheese in the gordita shell.
Yeah,
And
I do remember
that
that.
that was my absolute favorite. Just a step above the cheesy gordita crunch because I love Taco Bell's ground beef, which I know is terrible and disgusting. And I'm sure if you looked it up, what's in it, you wouldn't want to know. So I haven't, but it's delicious. And that was my absolute favorite, was when they added beef and cheese to the gordita shell. They called it a loaded cheesy gordita crunch, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was fire, bro. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that's the top of the list for both of us, cheesy gordita crunch.
Yeah, but I know, like I said, growing up, going to Taco Bell together in high school, we, if we were getting a meal, we get a cheesy gordita crunch, we get the loaded grillers. But then a new item when we were in high school, right at the beginning, came into the equation, something known as a quesarito.
Oh man, this thing is fire, dude. It hurts so bad. I think my mom was telling me you could still order the and just to be specific, the one to get is the shredded chicken quesarito. That's
Yes.
the best one, and apparently you can order it still, but only through the app or online.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's yeah.
here's the backstory to the quesarito because I remember this vividly.
Okay.
You and I went and got it the first time, as well as our cheesy gordita crunch and a griller. You got the shredded chicken. I got the steak. So this was my first experience with Taco Bell steak. And if you recall earlier in the episode, I said I don't like Taco Bell steak. I got it, and I hated the quesarito. I hated the steak. You were like, dude, it's great. It's the chicken. You started ordering it and ordering it. And yeah, I mean, you liked it. I didn't. And I think one day we had a baseball game and you ordered 2 and you were like, I don't want the second one. It's there if you want it. So I ate it and love it first bite, man. The shredded chicken quesarito, spot on. I mean, the amount of cheese they put in it is, I mean, I love the cheesy gordita crunch because what is it really? It's a quesadilla wrapped in a taco. I love the the quesarito because it's a quesadilla wrapped in a burrito. And to go on top of that, yes, the cheese is amazing, but how about that sauce that they put in? It's Chipotle sauce, I think, right?
Yeah, it's like the smoky, gooey. I love the way it mixes into it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Mhm. Yeah, and they throw the rice in there too because it's a little bit spicy, but the rice cuts the spice nicely. It's really another just a masterpiece from Taco Bell. I give the cheesy gordita crunch. I put it just a little bit above it on my list because I've been eating it for longer. That's probably the only reason why is because I have so many fond memories with the cheesy gordita crunch. But the chicken quesarito is shredded chicken quesarito is definitely a masterpiece as well. I am a huge fan.
Yeah. I think our list is pretty much the same as it is right now. What do you put next on your list? I'm trying to think of what I think. Loaded Griller was maybe next on mine, but it's also I think I know what one I want to talk about next.
Yep.
I definitely number 3 for me. Now that I think of it, I like it even more than the Loaded Griller, dude. I love the gosh, I'm gonna mess up the name. Naked Chicken Chalupa.
Naked Chicken Chalupa. That's exactly where I was going next. So this came out when we were both in college. But I remember the first time we both got it, you came up to visit me for the weekend. It was over winter break, and I was staying up at my school. You came up and crashed in my dorm for a couple of days, got to meet some of my friends, and we went to Taco Bell before you headed back home, and we got Naked Chicken Chalupas. That was the name.
Yep.
And I love that you had the option to design it too. So the Naked Chicken Chalupa was a little taco except for the shell, or a little chalupa I should say, instead of fried gordita bread, was actually like a fried chicken patty that was just rolled into a taco, and it came with lettuce and tomato and cheese in it, but you had the option to customize it too. You could add sauces, you could add ground beef. My go-to, I'm not a tomato fan, so I got no tomatoes, but they had bacon. I added bacon to it and spicy ranch, and that was my go-to. So bacon, spicy ranch, shredded lettuce, and cheese in this chicken shell, and it was awesome. They brought it back a couple more times. Every time they bring it back, I got to go at least once. Wish it was back for longer, but yeah, that's definitely, it's on my list. There's one other item I'm going to talk about a little later that may be above it. I'd have to look back to my list again, but it's definitely on my list as well.
Yeah, Naked Chicken Chalupa. I think the way that I got it, because I do like tomatoes, so I got the tomatoes, the cheese, and then I don't know if it's the spicy ranch, but it almost looks green. I think it was like this guacamole
Oh, they had
sauce.
guacamole ranch.
Yeah, that's
that
the
was
one
an
I would
option
always get
too.
on it.
Or
Yeah.
avocado ranch. I don't know if they call it.
I think it was avocado.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
In fact, I think it may have come with the avocado ranch on it, and then I'd sub for the spicy ranch.
Right.
I'm probably the only Californian who doesn't like avocado. So
I know, dude. I
Yeah.
can't believe you don't. I love avocados on everything, but
yeah.
yeah. So what's the other item you're thinking of, dude?
I'm a big fan of the nacho fries. They've brought it back now 3 or 4 times, and I love them. I love the spice. I love seasoned fries, and I think they call them Mexican spices, and I think they get them spot on. It's not a traditional if you think like a Jack in the Box seasoned curly fry. It's not traditional fry seasoning. It's definitely a different flavor, almost like a taco seasoning or the seasoning they use on their ground beef. And they serve it with a little side of nacho cheese sauce, and I love it. And I know you were a big fan of they with the nacho fries, they do like loaded nacho fries, but there was another variation that I never got to try that you were telling me about that you were a big fan of, Dom. You want to talk about that one a little bit?
Yeah. So let me preface this because I'm going to say that I've tried the nacho fries. They're not my favorite. But I need to say before I say that I'm not a French fry guy. I gave up eating French fries about like 3.5 to 4 years ago. I've always been a French fry eater, but then I decided just for my health, because potatoes are a lot of carbs, potatoes have a lot of oil and stuff in them, and the way that they're fried is bad for you. So I decided to just completely cut out French fries. But with the exception, I will eat the French fries at Red Robin's. I have to get those at Red Robin's. And had to try the nacho fries when they came out, and I did eat the nacho fries in what happens to be my number 4 item pretty much on my list. I think you said you didn't try it, but the buffalo chicken nacho fry burrito that came out in 2019. It was freaking awesome, dude. I loved it. It was spicy, but it was awesome.
I don't know how I never got to try that. I've got some things on this list that we'll go through towards the end, items that just doing research for this episode that were around that I never got to try that I would have loved to have tried. That's one of them. I don't know how I missed that. That sounds great. If it was 2019, let's see, was it while we were in school or was it after we graduated?
I distinctly remember getting it after up here. So I was after I graduated and you graduated, and I remember going because I subbed for the school, Yosemite High School, and then I remember getting off of work or going for the lunch break, and the Taco Bell is really close to Yosemite High, so I just go and get myself the new burrito, and I saw it on the menu, and it was fire, dude.
Yeah, so it must have been right when I started work, because when I started work was right about when I stopped eating so much Taco Bell, when I started realizing, okay, I got to be an adult now. No more being a college kid and just going to the midnight Taco Bell runs. But yeah, I wish I had tried that because that sounds right up my alley. Maybe if they bring it back, I remember when they did like the Reaper nacho fries with the ghost pepper ranch sauce, but I don't remember the buffalo chicken one. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I don't think I ever ate those Reaper ones, but I'm a spicy food guy now. I'm going to admit, like, during high school, I was not the spicy food guy. But over the years, a couple of my buddies, I went to University of Laverne, they know how to hold down the spicy food, and they got me turned on to spicy food. So now I'm a spice freak.
Yeah, I want to give a little sidebar, a little story about Dom and his dislike for spicy food. Take you back to a Super Bowl party that we had. It was the Super Bowl that the Carolina Panthers played the Denver Broncos, and it was a terrible game. I think it ended like 40-8. So no one was interested. People were leaving early. And Dom insisted that if we get wings to go with our pizza for the party, that we get mild wings. And
it was barbecue.
No, so we got mild. I remember this. Wings
really?
Mild wings. Yeah, because I would not get barbecue. I don't do to me, barbecue sauce belongs on barbecue chicken, not on wings. So I made sure that I said you can get mild if you want. I wanted medium. You got mild. And I was so angry because everyone had left. The game was over. I think we turned it off in the fourth quarter because it was so out of hand. We were playing 2K, and I was like, great, everyone left my Super Bowl party early. We're sitting here playing 2K, and I'm hungry, and all we have is this friggin' plate of mild wings that taste like nothing because Dom wouldn't even taste the medium. But I'm glad to hear you're a spicy fan now. I know when you've come up to visit, we've taken you to some of my favorite wing spots, and we've got some spicy food down by you as well. So glad that you're part of the spicy food fandom now, so to speak.
Yeah, dude. I keep reminding you whenever you come and hang out with me again, maybe in 2 or 3 or 4 months, we got to go Smokehouse 41, bro. It's if anyone doesn't know, the main highway where I live is Highway 41. And on there, they have Smokehouse 41, and they have fresh cooked meat. They cook in this big smoker, and they have spicy, I guess, rub. They have it's rub, right, that you put on meat that. It's awesome, dude. You got to try that place out.
Yeah, and we took you to our favorite barbecue place up here, but they've shut down until further notice with COVID. Armadillo Willie's, which they have other locations, bigger locations that are open, but shut down, but good barbecue spots. So anyone listening in the Bay Area, they've got locations down closer to San Jose now. They closed down the one from what I've heard in Foster City. But if anyone's looking for good barbecue up here, I'm a big fan of Armadillo Willie's.
Right on, dude. So I think then I'd say just number 5 would be the Chipotle Chicken Loaded Griller for me. So let me just go through my 5, and then you finish up your list, dude, and that'll be good. So I think number 1, I got my Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Number 2, Shredded Chicken Quesarito. Number 3, I had the Naked Chicken Chalupa. Number 4, I had the Buffalo Chicken Nacho Fry Burrito. It's a mouthful. And then number 4, the Chipotle Chicken Loaded Griller.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go through my list here, and then there are a couple more things I want to add. Like I said, at the end of the show, I just want to talk about some of the items that I never got to try, and then have our have our fans hopefully drop some in the comments if they got to try it and what their thoughts were. But I'm
Absolutely.
going to start it off, with the list. Top of the list, of course, Cheesy Gordita Crunch. We don't deviate much here, at least the top three. Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Number 2, Shredded Chicken Quesarito. Number 3, Naked Chicken Chalupa. And then number 4 for me, I got to go with the Nacho Fries. Big fan. And number 5, the Cherry Kickstart Freeze will always be near and dear to my heart. So now, like I said, I just want to wrap this up on some of the items that in doing research here, I never got to try. Maybe you did get to try them, Dom. So I'm going to throw it over to you. And then, like I said, fans at home, feel free to drop down in the comments if you ever got a chance to taste these, because let us know how they were.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start, Taco Bell breakfast was a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the breakfast crunch wraps that had, instead of the crunchy taco shell, they put a hash brown in the middle. So I like the one with the gravy and the sausage. I think they call it the country.
Yes.
But they also did, it was with like a Chipotle maple syrup or a Chipotle honey, a waffle sausage taco that I never got to try. So it was like a waffle that was folded like a taco shell with like a piece of sausage in it. I never tried it. But it came out with the breakfast. I feel like you got that when we went and got breakfast at Taco Bell once, when I got the crunch wrap. I thought you had tried it.
It had a waffle inside?
So the taco shell was a waffle.
I remember, okay, I do remember trying the waffle taco, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
that's what I'm referring to, yeah.
Okay, got it, yeah.
Yeah, I never got to try it. Was it any good? It was like a waffle, sausage, and then I think like scrambled eggs and cheese.
It's one of those things. Here's the common, I think, ideology behind Taco Bell. They try to put things together that you never would think would work and kind of style it in like a Mexican American food. Like we said, the quesarito works and the naked chicken chalupa worked, kind of blending Mexican American. But the waffle taco is one of those things that was really greasy, but kind of dry at the same time, if that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, maybe I'm glad I didn't try it.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't the best.
Okay, let's see what else I had on this list. The quesalupa. I don't know how I missed this one.
Yeah.
This was
I never tried it either.
Yeah, this came out. It debuted the ad for it. I think it was Super Bowl 50 or Super Bowl 51. They debuted the ad for it. This was a chalupa. So like a fried gordita, but instead of having like a cheesy gordita crunch with the taco on the inside, they had cheese filled inside the shell. Like, I don't know how they did it. And it was supposed to be melty. And I don't know how I missed this. This is right up my alley. And I'm really sad I missed it. I think it was 2017 or 18. It was out for like one spring into the summer, and somehow I never got to try it. Did you ever try the quesalupa?
No, that sounds pretty amazing though.
Yeah. So hopefully one day we will see the rebirth of the quesalupa. How about something called the Bell Beefer?
Is that the sandwich?
So this was, like a taco burger. I know Del Taco used to do a taco burger that was like shredded lettuce, cheese, taco sauce, and then the ground taco meat in a bun. I guess Taco Bell did it too. And like I said, I like Taco Bell's meat better than Del Taco. So I'm super bummed I never got to try this one.
I feel like I wasn't even born when that one was out because I never even heard of it.
I don't know the dates it was out. Like I said, I don't think I ever heard of this one either until I started doing my research, but definitely one I would have liked to have tried. They did a chili cheese burrito that used to be on their value menu. That I distinctly remember seeing on their menu and never tried it. But once again, right up my alley. I know Sonic similarly does a chili cheese Frito wrap that it probably was similar to. Chili cheese burrito, ever try?
No, never tried that.
All right, last one. And this one was definitely in our lifetimes. A little bit earlier on, I think it was around like 2009. They did, Taco Bell, a chocolate Kit Kat Chocodilla.
What the heck?
Yeah. I don't know how they got the partnership with Kit Kat, and they basically, like they take a crunch wrap, but just filled it with Kit Kats and then grilled it.
Wow.
I'll reference, I've been talking about Del Taco a lot in this episode too. I'll reference El Pollo Loco did a s'mores quesadilla. Same style, folded into like that octagonal shape and pressed on the grill. But with a s'mores quesadilla, you've got marshmallow that sort of mimics the cheese. You get the pull there, the rigidity. I don't know how it would work if you just had chocolate bars in a tortilla.
I mean, I feel like it'd kind of be like a mole sauce, but Kit Kat. I don't know, dude. For me, the dessert kind of chocolate mixed with Mexican food thing does not sit with me.
Okay, yeah. So I never tried that one. Sounds interesting. I'm not gonna say good on that one, like the quesalupa, but it sounds interesting, definitely. Last thing before we go, we completely forgot. We haven't given a review yet on the grilled cheese burrito.
Oh, yes, that's right. So I guess I'll give the backstory on this one. I mean, obviously, so I was sitting here. My dad, he has been dying to watch some sports. He resulted to watching a little golf. He's a big golf fan, so he's watching some golf. I was sat down with him to watch a few holes of golf. It was actually a playoff of it. It was actually really
Yeah,
exciting. I
yeah,
never watched
last
golf.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was sitting there and they run the commercial for the grilled cheese burrito. And I fell in love immediately looking at it on the commercial. It looked amazing. My dad looked over at me. He's like, "You got to go get that." My dad's a vegetarian, but he says, "I'll take you. We got to go get that." And then my mom was coming back from a job interview recently. And she said, "Let me pick you up some Taco Bell." I got it. And I immediately sent you a video. It's up there, dude. I mean, I want to put it in my top 5. Maybe it's a number 6 spot. I love it, dude. I know maybe you didn't get a great first impression. I had it again today, and I didn't tell you this yet, but the first I ordered 2 just to because I guess I'm just a fatty. I love it, dude. So I got 2, and the 2 that my mom got me were made perfectly. But today when I got mine, it sounded more like the one that you got, where there's only a little tiny bit of grilled cheese on it, and it wasn't as good.
Yeah. All right. So for those of you that haven't seen it yet, the grilled cheese burrito. So it's a ground beef, nacho cheese, chipotle sauce. I think it's the same sauce as the quesarito,
Yeah,
and tortilla strips in a burrito. But then they put their cheese on top, and then they like melt it in a broiler, so it gets sort
and
of
beef is
melting.
in it too.
Yeah, ground beef burrito. Got
Yeah,
it. So I went in there, and let me say, this is a tasty burrito. I love everything in the burrito. Like Dom said, the one I got, it didn't have much cheese. It just kind of made the tortilla soggy. Um, it felt like a quesarito that didn't have the second tortilla, and
uh,
that kind of upset me. If it was without the cheese, it's a great burrito. It's tasty. Even with the cheese, it's good. It's definitely passable. But like I said, this is a quesarito without the second tortilla. It's just cheese on the outside of the burrito, it's even like if you remember the enchilada. It's that without enchilada sauce. It's just I didn't understand the necessity to put the cheese on top. I get, that's the gimmick.
the
If
name
they
doesn't make sense either. The grilled cheese burrito, you're expecting like grilled cheese and a burrito, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No, so it's a grilled cheese, I guess, because they grill the cheese on top. So that was
right.
my first when I tried it. Why I had to ask you, was yours super cheesy on top? Because I thought maybe they were just like, oh, we're gonna put a thin layer of cheese on top and then grill it so it gets like crispy, like on the edges of a grilled cheese.
That's how mine was. It was
Okay.
crispy and really cheesy on one side. Like obviously one side is just the tortilla, but they
Mhm.
put the cheese on it. Obviously they sprinkle the cheese on, then they flip it and put it on their flat iron grill, and that's what makes it the grilled cheese. But yeah, my first 2 were really awesome, but my second was more like yours. It was just kind of barely cheesy.
Yeah, I think they put the right amount of cheese on mine, and they just didn't cook it long enough. That would probably be the problem. But tasty nonetheless. Yeah, it's somewhere in my top 10, definitely, but definitely not top 5 for me.
For sure, for sure. So, do you have anything else to say on Taco Bell, Ryan, or any lingering thoughts?
Uh, I think I said all I've had to say. I guess I can add this, and I hope it's all locations, and but especially the Taco Bell I go to, Foster City location up here in the Bay Area. They're doing an awesome job with the social distancing. It's completely
Yes,
contactless. They, hand you out the card reader rather than taking your card. You put it in yourself.
me too. Mine too.
Everything is handed on the tray, so they're not actually handling your food box. You take it yourself, which is nice. If you want straws, they have them in a separate cup, and once again, you grab your own. So I just want to say, they're doing a great job there. Definitely getting the chance to go and try new food like this has been a big highlight of this quarantine time for us. So definitely support, those of you out there who are wondering, who are a little nervous. Restaurants are doing their best to adhere to social distancing protocols and be the safe. So if you feel safe and you're, wondering, should I go get food, just go ahead and support, not just fast food, but any restaurants, because, these businesses are struggling. So that's sort of my lasting message here. California here, I believe all dine-in establishments are closed, but we still have outdoor dining in some counties and definitely takeout. So just go ahead and, keep on supporting these businesses. They need it. A lot of places are going out of business, and it's really, really sad to see, especially, places that we grew up with. So that's my lasting message.
All right. Yeah. 100% agree with you, dude. Well said on your part, my friend. So I think then we should just close this out with, I know we always try to plan ahead. We always try to say what we're going to do next week, but like everything else, the quarantine's kind of screwing with us right now. So, we want to line it up very nicely, lead into our Tenet review. But once again, me and Ryan are thinking, well, even if it does come out, maybe we don't want to go to the theater and see it. I know I would risk it, but, Ryan's a little more cautious because he does live in a larger area with a lot more people. Me, I just have a small theater chain I can go to up here that I could see it at, so fewer people. But, I got to consider my buddy and his health, so we're going to hold off on those reviews. But as of right now, it's still set to release on August 12th, although I highly doubt it. I think that they're going to push it back to September at the very least. But our plan for that was we're going to do the Dark Knight trilogy, and then he has I think 8 remaining films after that, so we do 4 and 4 in a so basically overall 3 episode Christopher Nolan. But we're going to determine whether or not next week we might just start off with our Christopher Nolan series, or we might, if they're going to be pushing it back further, we might head into our backup plan, which is at this point Pixar. And we'd be starting off with Toy Story, Bugs Life, and a couple other films. We decided to do Pixar because everybody's, on the Disney Plus grind, and they're adding more and more stuff every day. And another thing, if you guys didn't realize, the Disney Fox merger came through recently, and they got a few X-Men movies on Disney Plus. And one of my favorite X-Men movies is now on Disney Plus, X-Men Days of Future Past. Ryan Barnett has been, RB, the man, has been holding back on me. He's not seen pretty much any of the X-Men movies, if I'm correct. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, X2 and X-Men Origins, which we talked about last week a little bit.
So hopefully he can catch up. Yeah, hopefully he could catch up, dude. There's a lot of X-Men movies, but, we will be, we love superheroes, so there's some movies I think you'll very much enjoy in the X-Men franchise. So if anyone wants to go and watch X-Men, you could watch Days of Future Past and not seen any of them and still have a great time. It's a very exciting movie, but you do benefit from seeing the old ones too. So there's that. So and then, just to continue on the Disney binge, we're going to do Pixar next week, hopefully. And if Christopher Nolan is going to bless us with Tenet, we'll be dropping his series of 3 videos and then the review of Tenet. So that's what's on the agenda. I'm going to hand it over to Ryan, but before I do, I'm just going to say you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Dom Gonzalez48. That's DOMGONZALES 48. If you want to follow me there, and please don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos dropping every Monday. And if you're listening to this on our podcast services, we want to thank you for the listen. Maybe give us a 5-star review if you want to on Apple Podcasts. You can definitely do that, or keep us in your Spotify subscription. We're on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts, as well as a few of the other podcast services. But with that said, Ryan, do you want to take us out for this week?
Yeah, just to close it out, as you mentioned, dropping new episodes or new top of the list episodes every Friday or every Monday, beg your pardon. But now, new to our channel as well, we're going to start doing more reviews, dropping every Friday. Of course, this past week, Dom, you dropped your first for your the season 3 review of Dark. In a couple of weeks, we'll have season 2 of Umbrella Academy to drop as well. So stay tuned for those as well. But like Dom said, please, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, and feel free to comment. My name is Ryan Barnett. You can find me on Instagram at RB_the_SID. But thanks for tuning in to another episode of Top of the List. See you later.